specific agenda. A few minutes ago, went around my room and picked out some of the more unusual and whimsical things that I have laying around, because I am a trinket person. I need all of the little trinkets in my life, and I also like to craft, so I do a lot of trinket crafting, and I want to show some of those to you tonight. I don't know if you can tell, I got into a mess earlier. I dyed my hair. I don't know if you can tell. My hair is usually like a light brown, it's the same on top here, but underneath it's like a purpley red. Anyway, no one told me that the gloves that come with the dye shouldn't be used, so I'm gonna have red hands for a while, but that's okay, it's all part of the fun. Okay, so let's see. The first thing I'm gonna show you is from a coworker at a job I had a few summers ago at a garden center. I don't know where she got this from, but we were talking one day about how much I love dragons, and so she takes me to the trunk of her car and she pulls this out. Now this little guy was gray. It was like a garden ornament when I first got him. I painted him. I don't know if you can tell, but his wings are really shimmery. I used Mod Podge and gold glitter. I actually had in mind while I was painting him the inspiration from Goodnight Moon, the Mabel's Menagerie video. I adore that video so much. And I can't remember the name of the dragon, but there's one that is like green and you have to pick the mushrooms and plants that grow on its back. And that one I thought was really cute. But this took me days and days and days and days because I'm lazy. I was gonna make hot glue mushrooms that come off its back. I may get around to it eventually, but that's been a few years ago. I don't have a name for him. If you have a good name idea, drop it in the comments. Okay. The next item on the list. Oh, if any of you have seen my previous video, it was either my previous video or the one before that, I had talked about my Renaissance Festival outfit with the big mushroom hat. I actually found it. Well, I say found it, I keep it hanging in my room. But I thought of it, and I don't know how well it's gonna work, but I really want to show it to you guys. Let's see. I didn't know if the lights were gonna work. messy. You can see all the wires. I don't know how many pounds of hot glue are in this thing, but it's a significant amount. I did not have bangs last time I wore this to the festival. I think there might actually be some makeup residue. Those Renaissance festivals can get so hot if you don't pick the right time of year. And I always go, really early fall or late summer, like August and early September. And it's a mistake every time. I enjoy every minute of it, but sometimes it's really hot. I went to one. Let me think. I went to one last October, and that was the nicest one by far. One thing I'll say is I did not have a pattern for this. It came all out of my brain. And I told a friend from my Bible study that I go to that I would make her one. And because I made my younger sister one, she went to trunk or treat with me, and I was a mushroom. And she needed a costume for Halloween, so she had a black dress. So I made her an ink cap, like a shaggy ink cap mushroom hat. And I had 3 hours to make it, and it turned out okay. Thankfully, I had the supplies to make it. It turned out okay, but everyone thought she was a lampshade. So even though it doesn't look the best under pressure, I told my friend that I could make it in a short amount of time. That was the Halloween that I went as a mushroom. To this day, that was almost 2 years ago. To this day, I have not finished her mushroom hat. And I don't know that I ever will, because that darn cotton fabric, if you ever make a craft with hot glue, don't use cotton fabric, because it will bleed right through the fabric. Her hat, the seam on mine, right here, I don't know how, it's really well hidden. It's kind of a spandex material, and the hot glue just didn't show through. Now I burn holes in it, and that's covered up by the puff paint. But hers, the glue just bled right through the fabric, and it doesn't help that it was light blue. But I have it halfway made, and my niece likes to play fairies with it, so it's okay. Okay, going with the theme of past Halloween. bottles left over from when I redid the, like, shelf I have beside my bed where certain, like, vitamins and stuff, where I keep those. I put all of them in potion bottles, and I had a couple left over. So I made little potion bottles to go with my Harry Potter trunk. Now, I know you're thinking this is just a bottle of water with blue food coloring in it. Not quite. Not quite. Watch and learn. It's water and blue food coloring with glitter, you fools. Marvel at my creative genius. How do we feel about glass tapping? I know some people like it, some people hate it. I don't know how, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I don't know how I lost the contest. I'll have to post some pictures of my car. Let you guys be the judge. I should have known. The local police department wins every year anyway. Let's see if we can make it focus on the glitter a little bit more. I think that worked. It just makes me think of those ASMR videos though, where it's someone aggressively banging the two tubes together, and then they shatter, and my heart just goes, no, the microphone. Don't ruin your poor defenseless microphone for something you knew was gonna happen anyway. No shade, everyone. You know what? If you're gonna do that and you think it's entertaining, go for it. I'm not gonna yuck anyone's yum. I just personally, I don't see the point of it. This makes me think of my Renaissance Festival trip down to Georgia. I went and visited my brother. I think I've talked about this before as well. I visited my brother and his kids, and it just reminds me of one of the vendors that we saw there had pixie dust that she was giving out to the kids, and my niece stood there for I can't even imagine how long it was. I don't remember. We had to be standing there for 5 minutes, which when you have another bored child feels like a long time. But she was told to make a wish on the pixie dust. She didn't have to say what her wish was. But I finally knelt down and I was like, do you want to dream of a movie tonight? Maybe you'll dream of her favorite movies, K-pop Demon Hunters. So maybe you'll dream of Derby, the tiger. And she went, yeah. And so she blew the pixie dust off of her wrist. It stuck. And then the lady said, when it eventually wears off, you know that your wish will come true. So we were walking around the festival, and we finally sat down to take a break. And she looks down at her hand and she goes, all of the pixie dust is gone. And I said, oh, the fairies must have come and got it, and they'll take your wish away, and then you'll have it granted tonight. And this adorable little girl, pauses for a minute, and then she looks up at me and she goes, Andy, I know fairies aren't real. I know they're not real. And I said, oh honey, I know. I'm just playing along. She was so stressed about me knowing that she knows that fairies aren't real. She's adorable. I love her so much. Okay. Let's see. We'll do this next. Now, I got this from the dollar store. It's very bright. We'll put the stand down. It's a little moon. Let's see if we can make this any more tolerable to look at. I don't know. Sorry, that was a bright transition from really dark to really bright. I apologize. I don't know if any of you remember my previous Genshin Impact video that I played Neuvillette running around doing some exploration. It's been a long while since that video, and since then they have dropped a new character, several, but the latest is Columbina, and she has these I can't remember what they're called. Something to do with the moon, and she has them all in her cave, and this reminds me so much of those. I am a chronic Genshin player. I don't play every day, but when I do, it's for an unreasonable amount of time. I also feel like this could make it cool. Like, I don't believe in like tarot cards or, you know, spiritual things like that. But if you were to do like a roleplay video of like a crystal ball, this would be really cool for that. Or even just like a little something. I should have taken this to my Harry Potter trunk. That would have been a cool addition. I want to feel like I might have. I'll have to go look back at the photos. Okay. Let's see. My next item is from my beloved Joanne Fabrics. Rest in peace. Matches the moon up here. This was actually obviously a Christmas ornament, and I saw it on Instagram that it was at Joanne Fabrics around Christmas, and I said, oh, I'll go pick that up because I really like it. It's got that whimsy about it. If you know me, you know I live for the whimsy. But I forgot, and then the news came out that Joanne Fabrics was going out of business, and so I went in just to walk the aisles one more time, and they were still there on major discount, so I won. that the artist like severely underpriced all of her items, so I bought a lot of them. But this is by far my favorite. It's a wooden board with, I'm not sure if this is plastic. It almost feels like puff paint, but it's not. Dark red, almost maroon mushroom cap with white speckles. Little ferns and moss. She didn't even have any business cards. This has been years and years and years ago. I don't think the school that this happened in even exists anymore. If it does, it's not a school. But I forever regret not finding a business card or asking her for social media or anything, because I need more of these in my life, and I'm devastated that I'll never be able to find her again. So the last item that I have for today is something that I made. It was actually a craft that my niece painted when she came up for Christmas one year, and she had hardly painted anything on it, so I figured I would reuse it and make my own little whimsical decor out of it. It is this adorable little cottage, and it's almost too dark in here to see, but I used acrylic paints. This looks sloppy. I wish I wouldn't have done it. It's just a piece of foliage from a fake bouquet that I used for a Red Fair project. The paint's kind of sloppy as well. It's not my favorite, but the best part of this is the sign. So these are all aquarium stone. Well, not aquarium stone. Stone that I use in potting plants to add drainage to the soil and just add a little texture in there. I hand painted all of them, stuck them on with hot glue, and made it like a little cottage wall. And I stuck moss in between all of the cracks. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know what the shadow is. I did the same with the chimney. And this light on the back. It does work, obviously. Shall we turn the light on? We shall. I really wanted, oh, it's all touchy. I really wanted to take the back off and put some furniture in there. But again, this project took me, goodness knows, I think I was in the living room for 15 hours. I did not move. I did not move once. The only time I looked up from this was to change what was on the television. steps. But at that point, I had been in the living room for 15 hours. It was 3 in the morning when I looked up at the clock. It went, I've been up for a lot longer than I intended. And I've been working on this for a lot longer than I intended. Just for it to turn out not how I imagined. But ain't that just the way? It's okay. I admire it from afar and pretend that I didn't waste 15 hours of my life. I didn't waste 15 hours of my life. That was 15 hours of my life that was spent creating instead of scrolling and wasting my time on the internet. So, a win is a win. Don't do as I say, not as I do. Don't ever make yourself feel bad for wasting time on something that's a creative process. Because I feel like nowadays we don't get to use that creative side anymore, and it's just so liberating and freeing when we do get to use that side. So create with all your heart. Create. Make things, build things, try things out, find a new hobby. It doesn't have to cost anything. It doesn't have to involve a lengthy process. It doesn't have to. You might end up enjoying it so much that it does take a long time, and that's okay. You can always set it down, walk away, come back to it later, and it'll just be in your corner when you need it. That's my take on being creative. So, it's better to have made it and have spent that time on it than to have not made it and possibly regret it one day. So, you never know. Thank you for joining me tonight, listening to my rambles and seeing my collection